All right.
Okay, well, welcome to day 3 of Mastering SEO. Today I'm going to talk about how to put your content, all of your pages, of your blog posts, anything from your website, directly into the search engines.
Okay.
And then I'm going to talk about directories, like why you should be listed in directories and what directories you should probably be listed in, and how to find directories that you probably aren't aware of that maybe you want to be listed in. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to start with putting all of your pages of your website when you updated it with keywords and things, putting it directly into the Google index. Okay. So let me share. Let's go here. There. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is, you find actually, let's not start there. Let's start with, hold on, my controls are blocking me here. So the first thing you're going to do is once you set up a Google account, right, which we talked about yesterday, make Gmail, you set up a Google account, you're going to want to set up in Google an account. It connects to your Google account, but it's called Webmaster Tools.
Okay.
So you're going to do a search for Google Webmaster Tools, or Google Search Console. But let's see what comes up. So, this is exactly where you want to go. You want to go google.com webmaster.
Okay.
So when you go into there, you'll get this great screen, right? And so, yes, you're going to want to set up you're going to go over here and, the first time through, you're going to, go through the Search Console and set it all up.
Right.
I've already done that, so I'm just going to sign in. And because I already am signed in to my Gmail account, it's going to take me to my Search Console.
Okay.
So on your Search Console, the first time you come to your Search Console, it's going to be blank, right?
Right.
But right over here, this drop down, because these are the sites that I have listed that I control through Google, down at the bottom where it says add property, that's what you'll do, right? So you will add property to your Search Console. So you can see that I already have like all my different websites there. But what you want to do whenever once you get it set up, and this will also, if you set in Google Analytics, this also connects right into Google Analytics, because this is actually the data that's here is getting pulled from my Analytics account.
Okay.
And so.
And is that in Google Ads?
Pardon, what?
Is the analytics is that a part of Google Ads, or is that just a part of the greater Google suite?
You know what? That is just part of Google.
Okay.
And you'll need to set up, and actually the process that I'm going to show you here in a minute is exactly what you'll do to set up Google Analytics to be feeding data about your site. I'll actually show you some of that in a minute. But all right, close that up. All right, but once you get your Search Console established, okay, and you've added Desva Corp to the thing, what you want to do is you want to go slide on down to, oh wait, they've moved it, it's still up here. Oh, right here, for URL inspection, okay? And you'll click on URL inspection, and it's going to say up here, inspect any URL.
Okay.
So what you want to do is whenever you update a page, you want to go here and ask Google to inspect that URL. Okay, so I did a blog post last week that I don't think I submitted directly. Now, it may already be indexed because it's been about a week old. But this is a blog post that I did last week that I didn't put into Google. So let's see. Hold on. Oh, there it is. So all you'll do is you'll just copy it, you know, whatever URL for every page, right? And you just post it in. And let's see. So see, it's retrieving data from Google. And sometimes you'll get up and go, ooh, it has, now see, this has already been on Google. Like I said, it's been a little over a week, so Google found it by itself. But when it's something that you did like that day and you post it, it will actually go out there right then and put it in the index.
So
now, see
already,
pardon?
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna say, so it's already on there, you think, because someone else has like Googled or found it or logged on, clicked on it?
Exactly, because I promoted it, you know, like on Facebook and stuff last week, so Google already was aware. And then all my pings too went out, so Google was already aware that it was there, you know.
Okay.
Got told them. But
Okay.
notice this thing over here where it says page changed, request indexing. So,
so interesting.
So yeah, so it may be in the index, but if I'd gone in today and put a new link on, or had put a different picture on, or had updated it in some way, I could still go in and request indexing, and again, that would send a new bot to that page to update.
It's sort of like save your changes on WordPress, but like for Google.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep, that's a good way to think of it. So anytime you make a change, you can, you know, instead of waiting for a bot to find you, you can raise your hand and say, hey, go out and crawl my site again because I made changes.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so that's what you do on Google. Now, Bing has the exact same process. Okay, and those are the two major search engines, right? Google and Bing, and there's dozens of others. But you know, there's other, once you get into the search console, you know, every one of these has great information. You know, like you can track what links go from your site to somewhere else, and there's great information out there.
Cool.
But so let's look at Bing Webmaster Tool. Because on Bing, when I looked at it yesterday, I'm like going, oh, I haven't added all of my websites to Bing.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you what that process looks like.
Cool.
That's what I'm like, I hope we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I love anytime I can get like a visual of how to do something. I'm always a fan of it.
Right.
Just like see someone do it once and then I can do it a million times.
Yeah, like, so when I was in, oh, okay, that's because I'm already signed in. I'm like, why isn't it asking me? So normally it would ask you to sign in. I was in here playing earlier, so I'm already signed in. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, but so eventually, you know, when you do it for the first time, you'll have to create an account with Bing. And again, you know, you can, and actually Bing and Google used to not play well together, but I'm noticing now, and you'll see this in a minute, that they're like going, if you're already in Google, you can, you know, also, you can just automatically put your Google information into Bing. And I was like, oh, that's
cool.
So
Are they like data sharing now or
be
something?
able to do that.
Very cool.
Yep. But let me see here. Let me go to Wing. All right. So if you can see, I only have Mirelli in here, and Success Point Consulting. What I don't have is my site, Amazing Speaks. Okay. And notice up here, it says if you're already in the Google Search Console, you can import all the information from Google into Bing. You didn't used to be able to do that because it's like skip verification. But I
Right.
want for you to like go through the verification process.
Oh,
Just like
yeah.
you know how to do it. Okay.
I
So
would
up
agree.
here, yeah. So up here, you're going to add a site, right? So I'm going to add my Amazing Speaks. Right, and so I can add a sitemap, and the thing is that Yoast SEO will
Uh-huh.
automatically create a sitemap once we do this next step. Okay,
Oh,
and there's another plugin that we're going to use to do it, but you don't have to. It's like, well, yeah, you could if you already did it ahead of time, but I haven't. So we're just going to add it. I'm going to say, oh, wait, you need to verify your site. That's what it should say. Kind of think about it for a minute. Come on. Well, because it's now going out to Amazing Speaks and going, but wait, we don't know if you own this,
right.
right? So I'm going to say, yes, I do own this. So here's what it says, right? So you can add a meta tag in the head of your web page, right? And this is the code that you want to copy right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you copy that code and you go to your website. Let me see here. So this is the back office of my Amazing Speaks, and go into plugins, and you're going to add new. And this is the best plugin I have found for this purpose. Okay. And you're going to go over here to search plugins, and you're going to do search header. I don't know if it's header or headers. Header and header. Oh, right there. And this is from yep, WordPress Beginner. This is the best plugin to do this. Okay, so you're going to install it. Obviously, they've got other choices, but this one actually, and it's #1. It's the one that's most recommended. Yeah, so activate. And this will allow you, and you'll like, if you work with websites at all, you'll find a lot of different times so it'll say, put something in your header. Well, unless you are a programmer, it's really hard because the header is actually where all the data is stored for the actual running of the website. So they make it hard to get in there if you don't know what you're doing. Imagine. But
Yeah.
okay, so it should have added, let's see. I think it's now in settings. All right. Insert. Oh, there it is. Okay, I think it shows up in settings. Which okay, so it automatically adds a tab or whatever in your settings.
Okay.
Okay, so you just click on that. And you're like going, what do you want to put in the header? Well, I want to put that Bing code. And it added a bunch of space that I probably don't need. But you want to make sure that you got the entire code in, right? And then you just save it. Oh, I am certain this is a false positive. Yes. Like, you're not allowed to do it. Yes, I am. my my spam, or yeah, my spam protector is like going, wait, you're making changes to your. It's like, yeah, I am. Sorry. It's like, no, I'm allowed to. Really, I am. So let's see. Does it save it? Okay, so it's saved. So then you go back to Bing, and the first time you go through, you'll go back to Google, go back to Bing, and you're like going, okay, you know, it says click here. Let's see if I can copy it. And actually, most of the time, oh, nope, that wasn't the one. Oh, maybe it was. Hold on. But, oh, no. No, I didn't mean to close that. All right, well, I'll go back in. Okay, so it is there. So I didn't mean to close out the Bing Webmaster Tools.
Oh.
Like, oops, hit the wrong thing. So let's see if it'll let me back into where I was supposed to be. No, that's not it. My site. You know, and so if you go back, it says hasn't been verified. It hasn't, you know, but let's verify it now. And sometimes it takes a couple minutes. Well, it wants to be annoying at the moment, and I think it's because of that, the spam protector is like going, so I probably have to disable that and go back in. But so that's one way. The other way is you can change the CNAME record on your DNS. So do you know who hosts your site? Are you hosted on like a GoDaddy or?
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay. So if you need to, you know, GoDaddy can walk you through how to change the CNAME record.
Okay.
But typically using that plugin works fine. And I think that spam detector kind of messed me up here. Like, yeah, sometimes you got to try something else. But you'll do the exact same thing on Bing that you would do on Google for all of your new, anytime you make a change on your pages.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I haven't added this most recent blog post to Bing. So let's go here, and you'll go down to Mirelli, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go, okay. And then over here where it says submit URLs on the left-hand side, that's what you're going to do. You're going to submit your URL. And then right here, you can paste it in. And so you're going to do that for every one of your pages.
Okay.
And first time you go in, if you have never, you can like just list every single page, right? And it says you can submit 10,000 on a day. You know, I don't know if you want to submit 10,000 on a day, but you can put your whole entire site in. And this is exactly, now it's going to directly go into the Bing directory.
Okay.
And get indexed in Bing. So, you know, so now you're in Google, directly in the index, and now you're in the Bing index. See, pretty simple. But when you don't do it and you rely on the bot, this has now jumped ahead of all kinds of other blogs that are out there waiting for Google or waiting for Bing. We now have gone directly into the index. So we are now indexed faster than anyone who's not directly submitting.
Interesting. Okay.
So, yeah. So it's just a speed thing, but it could be really useful. The other thing is, and it's not just your website, right? If you do like an article in LinkedIn and it gets a unique URL, you can submit it directly to Google and to Bing. All of your videos on YouTube, take the URL and put them directly into Bing and Google. Anytime you get a unique URL, if you write press releases, we're going to talk about that tomorrow, I think. You know, if you get a unique URL from some of the press release sites, put them directly into Google and Bing. You don't have to wait. You know, it's like, yes, I want them in the index. Absolutely. If you get a newspaper article from, you know, the Post and Courier or, you know, the Business Journal or whatever, and you have a unique URL, put every one of those URLs directly into the index.
Okay.
Because then you're saying, yes, I want it indexed, I want it found, but it'll just make the process so much faster. All right, so any questions on that so far?
No, not right now. This is fairly straightforward.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a process, right? And it's just a process that a lot of people don't do, but we want you to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, you know, this is the difference between someone seeing your site in 3 days or in 3 weeks, you know?
Exactly. You know, especially if it's like current stuff, then, you know, you want to do it. So the next thing I want to talk about is another way to get your site found is to create backlinks. And some of the best backlinks are directories. Okay. So
Sorry,
pardon?
go ahead. I was just gonna, and you probably are about to explain it, but what exactly is a backlink? Like, what constitutes a backlink?
A backlink is another site that references your site.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You know, I mean, again, because the web is very interconnected, right? And so we were talking about on your individual site, how you want to kind of create that web of link to link to link, you know, so that things, so, you know, for instance, on like my blog, if I had an external link and I said, follow the links, then the Google bot would also go to someone else's site. That's why I have Amazing Speaks and Mirelli, and sometimes from Mirelli, I'll say, ooh, go look at what I'm doing on Amazing Speaks. Or I'll do a blog post on Amazing Speaks. I'll say, oh, you know, I've got this membership over in Mirelli kind of thing. Those are backlinks.
Okay.
Those are just ways to link. But you don't have to link just within your own property. You can link to others. Like if you know, everyone these days probably has a business page on Facebook, right? Make sure on the information of the business page on Facebook, you put the link to your website.
Okay.
right? You've got a LinkedIn profile page. Make sure in the profile page, especially in the contact me section and in the summary, that you put a link to your website.
Okay.
Um, anywhere that you can add a link back to your website is good, because that's called social proof. That is telling Google that you're not just a one page out there not connecting with the world, but that you are interconnected with other things. And that just builds your credibility the more places that you can be seen.
Okay.
Okay. And so directories. Directories are, I mean, honestly, it's amazing. Um, to me, I use Google, I use Google and Bing. I do searches. But there are some people who are used to doing other directories, who are looking for very specific things, because they're used to it, and they don't go out and Google. I don't want to use Google. Okay, whatever. So I've created this list of um, directories that most businesses want to be on. Okay, and you can look at each one. So I've got 10 here that are free. Um, and I can actually email you this list too.
Please.
So we're just going to look at like manta.com, Yahoo Local Business, Merchant Circle, Yellow Pages, right? Yellow Bot, local.com, Hot Frog, Kudzu, Super Pages, and Easy Local. Okay, so those 10 are kind of like the general business directories. Okay, now, like I say on here, like Yahoo Local Business, you kind of have to go to the last page because they keep trying to get you to buy, right? Buy a listing, buy a listing, buy a listing. But they actually offer a claim your basic listing. You just kind of have to go through the noise of buy, 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 And so they get a lot of people, to pay $49 for a listing or whatever. It's like, no, you can do it for free because they want as many businesses listed as possible. Sure, they want to make money, but they want as many businesses as possible.
Right. Their business is having businesses.
Yeah, so you kind of have to go through. It's like, so these I know offer free services, right? And there are some that, like I said, there are literally thousands out there. There's a service out there called Directory Critic, which is not very much. I mean, I think they're like maybe $50, $60. They will guarantee they'll put you in like 200 directories. So it depends on if you want to spend the time or if you want to spend a little bit of money.
Right.
And then we've got this one like Yahoo. We'll do, for $30 a month, they will do a certain number of directories every month. The services are out there. Nothing wrong with them. You can pay for it or you can do it for free, which is your time.
Right.
So, that's just a decision that you have to make. But so let's take a look at like Manta. All right. And some of these directories, some of them are slick and fun, and some of them are, a little, but it's very simple, right? Right over here, add business. Boom. And then when you go to add your business, but there are some people who always go to Manta to look for things. Okay. So yeah, so what's your name? Where's your company? Da, da, da. And some of them require you to become a member. Okay, but membership is always free. It's just boom, add my company. And then they'll give you a page where you can add like a picture, and you can add all your stuff. So I'll send you that list. But so you go through directories. Now, one thing I'm going to say is that, especially like this one doesn't really, when you get into the next page, you'll be able to put a description of your business.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you use a couple keywords.
Okay.
Right? Because you want to, if you're going to go through the process of putting yourself in the directories, because the thing is, like, Manta promotes Manta, right?
Right.
So they will also then be promoting their businesses. I think Manta actually does a promotion like for all their new businesses. So as long as you have your keywords in there, actually Manta is then promoting your website to your keywords.
Okay.
So, but you're in credit card processing. So what you want to do, like those 10 that I gave you are for general business. But there's a heck of a lot out there. There are specialized directories. And I did a search earlier. I know now that there are tons of credit card processing, merchant services directories out there. So just do a quick search. And you can see I already did one earlier, right? I'm like going, how many other? They're like, there's a ton. So, forget the ads. But when you go down here, it's like right here, the payment processing company directory from Sherpio, right? From Cardfellow has credit card processor directory. Find credit card processing companies 2019 directory from credit.com or credit card.promatcher. Reseller directory at authorize.net. Veteran owned business, business directory. Christian business directory. All of those could potentially be someplace that Desmond wants to be listed.
Okay.
Right? And a lot of them are free. So let me see here. I went to this one, which I thought was interesting. So it's called ProMatcher. And, it's like, oh, but you know what? But I'm looking at find a pro in your area, and I don't see anyone for Charleston, right? So if someone came to this site, found this site, there's no one else. I mean, Desba may be the only one listed in Charleston,
Mm-hmm.
right? And up here where it says promote your business,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is where you would promote your business. And get started, right? Get a directory. And look, it says, yes, it's all free. Hello, why wouldn't you list your name? I do it. So they get your, like, what do? Do you do merchant services? Click to continue kind of thing. But, so there's a lot of directories out there for you to find. And then I was going to go down, like, there's some pro somewhere in South Carolina. So let's see. So see, in Greenville, there's Greer, and North Augusta. So let's see who's in Greenville. Elite Management. But see, they're the only one. So if someone was looking for credit card processing and they ran across this ProMatcher, their only choice, I mean, they're most likely going to hit Elliott Management. If this is what they found first. Mm-hmm. So you see how that can work?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are just all these different directories out there that all give you a backlink, right? That all says to Google that, there are multiple ways to find me. Kind of, if you were a fly-by-night company, you wouldn't go through the process of getting listed in multiple places. Right? But because you are a solid and going to be here for a while, and you take the effort to get to get listed in various places, Google will say, you know what, a little bit more credibility.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is what will help kind of fuel Google pushing our stuff out further, or pushing our stuff out further.
Yes. Right. But then the other one that is really, really important to have, and I think we mentioned this on Monday, but is Google My Business.
Okay.
All right. So, and you need to have a Google My Business account. Google My Business, well, going to log in. I know I need to update mine a little bit more, but when you go into Google My Business, I don't know if it's going to sign me in. No. Okay, so, the first time that you come in, you're going to, say manage now, and then it's going to ask you for your, to set up. And Google My Business actually helps you. It's almost like your own little website within Google.
Uh-huh.
And you can update it all the time, right? And it gives you, like I've had 97 views, in the last 28 days. It's like, okay. But look, you can create a post, you can add photos, you can create an ad that will actually, and look, you get started with $100 of ad credit. So if Desba was doing something, specific, they wanted to get a little bit more visibility on, and Google My Business is really intended for local. But you can see what all they could do. I mean, you can do posts. You obviously will have your own profile. You can ask people to do reviews on Google My Business, and any reviews you get on Google My Business will push you higher in the Google Maps. Because they rank, they sort, or they rank people in Google Maps by the number of reviews they have on Google.
Okay.
Okay, so Google My Business, you definitely want to create an account, and you definitely want to, occasionally post things. And what I was doing, I haven't done it as much lately, and I need to, but like whenever I post something on my blog, I wait like 2 or 3 weeks and then post the same thing on Google My Business. I don't do it all the same day because kind of like it can get lost. It's like, because I'm promoting it in various ways.
Right.
I take that same content and it's on my blog, and I promote that for a week or so, and then I promote it on Google My Business, and then it'll be on the LinkedIn article. So it's the exact same content, but it's being used in multiple ways and creating backlinks back to the website.
Okay.
Just wanted to click real quick and see where's it going. So yeah, so that's, welcome to your site. Yeah, so it lets you set up your own site kind of thing on Google, which is pretty fun. And they've been making a lot of changes to it lately. So it's something that they're really investing in right now. So it's going to be fun. But yeah, so definitely Google My Business, definitely some of the directories, the general business directories, and then also industry specific directories. Very definitely, you want to be in all of those. Plus, you want to make sure that your site and anything to do with your site is directly put into the Google directory and the Bing, or the Google Webmaster Tools and Bing Webmaster Tools.
Okay.
Because that is how you will start to generate traffic. All of those things are all about generating traffic. And that's really what you want, right? You want people to come visit you,
Right.
right?
Definitely.
Especially tomorrow we're going to talk about some things that you can put on your site to encourage people to engage with you.
Okay.
Because this is great. You can start driving traffic to your website, but what do you want people to do once they get there?
Right.
Yeah, you've got decent content and you're going to add more content.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it about your site that can make it what's called sticky? That can make people, kind of click around and stay and request information from you, or, I don't know if we'll get into the remarketing pixel or not, but you know how when you go and you search somewhere, you do something, and then you go to Facebook and the ad for the site you were just on pops up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's called a remarketing pixel. And I can show you how to set one of those up if you wanted, but it is a very useful kind of thing to just say, you know what? You know that they've been on the site and looked at DESVA, and so you actually can show up in their Facebook feed to go, hey, what were you looking for? Are you sure I can't help you?
I actually would at some point like to see that.
Okay. Yep.
Do you think that would be
Well,
good?
you know what? I will plan to go through that on Friday.
Okay.
Yep.
That would be great.
Yeah. It's really cool technology, and it's not that hard to set up.
Yeah.
Again, there's a plugin for that.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you know what? There's a plugin that says, oh, put the market. The matter of fact, the one that I just used, the install header and footer,
Uh-huh.
exactly same thing when you get your remarketing pixel from Google or from Facebook. It says go put it in your header. You'll use that exact same plugin that insert headers and footers and put your remarketing pixel on your website.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that's something that's neat to me. So this isn't just a Facebook going out and doing this sort of thing. These are active decisions by the people who run these websites to get that like HTML code to put into the header and footer.
Exactly.
So that it'll go
Nothing is automatic.
Interesting.
It is something that they've decided
Yeah.
that they want to, if anyone has been to their site and then they go to Facebook, they want to follow them with some sort of ad in Facebook to remind them, hey, come back to my site. Or we know you're on our site.
I did not know that. I thought that was just sort of like a Facebook thing. I didn't realize that the actual people that have these websites were aware and like were putting that in there. That's very funny. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because there are some sites that you go to, you never see them.
Sure.
But then you go to some and you're like going, oh my gosh, I was just there. Why are you showing? It's like it's funny because I work with other entrepreneurs and businesses and stuff. And sometimes I'm doing research for them. Like I guarantee when I go to Facebook now in a minute, I'm going to see an ad from like Manta or something.
Right.
Like going, it wasn't really, I was like, I was on the site.
Right.
Sometimes I'm doing research for someone and I go, I really wasn't that interested, but okay then.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
an interesting little thing. See what you're learning. Hang out with me, you'll learn all kinds of stuff.
I know, right?
All right, all right. So I think that's all for today. Unless you've got questions on what we've gone through so far.
I do not right now. This is pretty good, and straightforward. I think it might be a little tedious to go back through and put all the stuff on there, but it's definitely worth it. And this all makes sense as well to sort of index all your unique URLs because they're all unique. So why not,
Well, exactly. That's the whole point. And the thing is that you really do just have to do it the one time.
Right.
Right. And then it's just as you make changes or kind of write yourself a note that every 6 months, you go in and ask to re-index, you know, just to kind of keep it fresh,
Okay.
you know.
So you would recommend then maybe doing like a every like once a year, twice a year, something like that, doing
I do
just like
my
a read of,
homepage and my membership, how to join now, my membership page. I
right.
do those every 6 months.
Okay.
Just whether I made a change or not, because I sometimes can't remember, I ask Google to
Right.
look at those pages anyway. Because that way, if heaven forbid there was some error somewhere along the line and Google, like, because this happens sometimes, like your site was down momentarily, right? Your host had a electrical outage or something, and your site was down for 20 minutes, but that just happened to be the time that Google bots tried to hit your site.
Oh.
Suddenly, it's like they take you off the index because they say your site's inactive.
Right.
And it's like, well, no. I mean, I've had that happen like once or twice when I've gone to like re-index something and they're like, well, not found. And I'm like, what do you mean not found? It's like, no.
Right.
If there was some error on the page that, did something. So you want to occasionally your main pages, make sure they're kind of ask them to be re-indexed just to make sure.
Huh. Very cool. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and if you hire a service, to manage your websites and things like that, most of them do this kind of on a regular basis.
Okay.
Right. I mean, that is usually part of the web maintenance process,
Mm-hmm.
is to make sure that your site is re-indexed on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
because like I said, errors happen, I mean, sometimes Google will go, oh, site's inactive. It's like, well, only for like that 20 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Cool. All right. Well, I am going to run off to my next meeting, but
Yes.
I will see you tomorrow at noon, and we are going to talk about ways that you can increase engagement with your website that can also bring you more traffic.
Great. Sounds good then.
All right. Have you
Awesome.
met with Linda? Or are you meeting with her this afternoon?
Yep. I'm actually about to go on my way to her now.
All right. Well, tell her I said howdy.
I will. Have a good one.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.